80 people looking to dig oil wells and coal mines. I have a friend who was raised in West Virginia and his father was involved in coal mining. They blast the mountain to shreds. They're supposed to recover it, but you can't recover ash and coal that has settled into the streams and the waterfalls and poisoned the water forever. Do the companies care? No. Their bottom line is profits for their stockholders. Just like what happened in this country in the late 1800s, early 1900s with timber. The timber companies literally stripped every tree and bush off the side of the mountains. That's their karma. It's your karma to pray for their enlightenment. It's your karma to pray for the improvement and the betterment and the health of the planet. So say the entire planet doesn't get better all of a sudden, but your community starts being more ecologically minded. That's your prayer being answered. It doesn't always get answered in the way you think it should. There might be other things in the way, like other people's lives, other people's karma, other people's rights, other people's needs. So what you say is, God, this is what I would like. I'm not sure how to phrase it. I'm not even sure if I'm karmically entitled to this. And you speak to the God force exactly the way I'm speaking to you. Because the universe knows your thoughts anyway before you do. So if you think, oh, I won't say this, I don't want God to hear, you're crazy. You're part of the God essence. The cells of the God force are within you. The God force created your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual being. You can't hide from what created you. So say, I don't know if I'm talented enough. I don't know if I'm tall enough, short enough, whatever. But this is what I would like. Can you see about getting me as close to this as possible? Say you want to be an airline pilot, but you've got some kind of vision problems, or you've got depth perception problems, or you get motion sickness like I have. There's no way I'm going to be a pilot. Although I did fly a plane when my first ex-husband was vomiting his brains out in a storm that we ran into that they didn't bother to tell us about because no one had reported it. I reported it. And for some reason, well, I think it's called Dramamine, I was not sick. And I was flying the plane because he was sick. And I had had enough experience flying with him, so I knew, basically what I was doing. I'm not saying I could have landed the plane. Fortunately, I didn't have to worry about that. But do what you can do and ask the God force to structure something. So say you wanted to be a pilot, but that's not possible. But perhaps you can be a mechanic that works on planes. Perhaps you can design planes. Perhaps you can be one of the design engineers that creates safety in planes. Perhaps you can develop new types of equipment that will go in the planes. Perhaps you can develop better seats. Perhaps you can develop better fuel, better landing strips, better lighting for the landing strips. That's one of the problems. We flew into a small airport that didn't have its landing lights on. Do you know why? They were saving money. We could have crashed into a million trees, but they were saving, $10 for the night? Fortunately, it was a full moon and we had full vision. I think that guy has never forgotten me. When he told me, I asked him where the landing lights were. He said, well, we're kind of saving money here. We got a budget. I went after him. I chased him around his desk. I said, we could have been killed because you wanted to save $10 for the month. Well, I didn't think about it that way. I think he's never forgotten me. So you can be someone who has developed a fail-safe. Perhaps as a plane or the vibration of a plane is approaching, the lights automatically go on. Let's patent that thought as we're thinking about this now. You can be involved in some way. Say you always wanted to be a doctor, but you've got really lousy bedside manner. I'm thinking research. Perhaps you could be someone who discovers a better way to give vaccinations. Or you discover a new disease that can be vaccinated against. There are all kinds of ways of getting your prayers answered. Don't scream that God doesn't love you when God hates you. It's not possible for you to hate your own liver, for you to hate your own finger. It's not possible for God to hate you. Sometimes the answer is flat outright no, because you have talents and abilities you don't know about yet. And you'd be better off doing that other thing that you have not yet discovered than being a fashion designer. I'm not knocking fashion designers, but do we need another one? Do we honestly need another fashion designer? Palazzo pants are back. Guess what? I never threw mine out. I'm wearing them. Yes, I still fit in them. Isn't that exciting? I mean, there's only so many ways you can wear a pair of slacks. Only so many ways you can wear a blouse or a shirt or a suit. So I think a little less on the fashion and more on things that make the planet a better place. And I don't mean doggy tutus. I don't know if you saw that program where these idiots married their two dogs, and it was $250,000 for that shebang. Give it a rest, people. When they die and they've got to face the angels, and the angels are standing there with a list of the things they've thrown their money away on, how happy do you think they're going to be? They could have donated that money to the Humane Society or to a trap, neuter, and return society in their community. That's where they trap feral cats, they neuter them, they keep the ones that are friendly, and they return the others to the areas where they found them so they have little families. $250,000 to marry two dogs and doggy outfits. Give me a break. I pray that people get smarter than that. That they're not frivolous and waste their money, because money is a privilege. Money is important. You've got to have money to be able to get back and forth to work. You've got to have money for a car, to pay for your electricity, to pay for your home, to pay for your medical bills, because we don't have proper insurance in this country. We're the only civilized country in the world that doesn't have proper health insurance for its citizens. And every time some idiot says, states' rights, what happens when there's a tornado and you want federal assistance? Should we scream states' rights for you? Should you live out under a tree because your home was torn to shreds by a tornado, but you want to be a states' rights person? No federal money for you, more for me. So when you say your prayers, be focused. And we're going to talk about how you can be focused when we come back. Linda Bennett, Metaphysically Speaking.